The Coin Lady channel is pleased to have you back. It was a somewhat red day for XRP, and the market as a whole. We're sitting here just around 52.5 cents. However, XRP appears fantastic when viewed from a distance. But we're still making headway. Just wait till we're ahead by a dime, and then we start making headway by $1. There will be exciting days ahead, and that is what is coming. Plus, as we can see here, XRP is often the target of vitriol. You need to take a view similar to that of XRP declines, though. Naturally, XRP isn't the only cryptocurrency that has outperformed it since 2017. The lack of clarity in the regulations is the first issue. Secondly, many of us would not have been able to amass XRP to such a large degree if this possibility hadn't been available. At the same time, Ripple settled a case on behalf of the entire industry and developed the protocol for digital payments. I maintain my belief that Ripple's continued association with the SEC is a factor limiting the price of XRP. In my opinion, XRP has been slowed down since 2020, particularly in the US. Both Ripple and XRP have shown significant growth in markets outside of the US. Reason being, in all these other nations, the way forward is quite evident. The SEC is in the hands of a small group of politicians who are actively working to stifle innovation. An ESDR will be the topic of our next discussion. And I'll tell you something, this has the potential to make us filthy rich overnight. Issue and administration. Instead of a multinational body like DIA or MAP, a group of private sector financial institutions might issue and oversee the ESD, according to Mr. Man of the ESD. Financial institutions with an interest in facilitating better cross-border payments may form this private sector coalition. So, maybe there will be a plethora of ESDR baskets in the future, and the values of the baskets will vary. For example, this one might include XRP worth $100 on its own. This basket, however, may contain items worth more than $1,000. Never forget that we predicted an overnight spike to $1,000 in XRP if the IMF decided to treat it like an ESDR. This is now derived from Smoke PBOC according to two reports. The People's Bank of China is one among the possible financial institutions that could employ ESDR. In order to avoid dealing with high-level currency exchange issues, the PBOC may turn to cryptocurrency-based enterprises like Rip-Off. Nonetheless, we were consistently informed that we were not allowed to possess any SDR in relation to ESDRs. Seems like we were mistaken, though. Our ESD cryptocurrency will be a solid coin. Everyone, not only banks, will be able to hold and use the money from the central bank for payments and future projects based on blockchain technology, which is bringing new functionalities to the digital economy. Digital currencies issued by central banks, national monetary policy, the SDRs, would be a great way to reduce financial frictions by allowing everyone, not only banks, to securely and instantly deal in central bank money. For example, issuance might make central bank money available for payments, remittances, and holding, rather than just banks. So, an ESDR can be held. This disproves the buyback hypothesis. Regardless of a floodgate of fresh opportunities has been unlocked. Consider modest baskets. XRP's price may spike to $50 or $100 in an instant. With larger orders, XRP's price has the potential to skyrocket to $589 or perhaps $1,000. However, the way ahead is now illuminated by this. What I believe will transpire is this. Other nations will follow suit after this one does it. If one bank does this, other financial institutions will likely follow suit. In the Ripple SBI, the Asian region known as Ripple generates the Internet of Value in Japan and beyond. Participants in RippleNet, which employs DLT, may immediately and reliably transfer funds into over 40 currencies to over 70 countries by connecting with financial institutions through a single API, thanks to the combination of the knowledge and technology of the two firms. It was in the year 2018. Here we can observe that Russia has achieved success with XRP cross-border payments. Since we are familiar with many other countries and banks, we would have been collaborating with Ripple if this had been happening in 2016 and 2018. For what reason has the moment when everything changes not occurred yet? I think Chris Larsen could have the answer right now. Hear this. However, to reiterate, you can be captivated by it, but it can't be used as a major issue until you have the interoperability of money, which we don't now have for 2 billion people. This fundamental infrastructural layer between M-Pesa, Bank of America, and the Japanese financial system is essential, and they are aware of this. I thought you didn't have it, too. That is the obstacle that is preventing a crucial event from taking place. Additionally, I believe they reached a consensus regarding the necessity of incorporating the Inter-Ledger Protocol. That's the essence of Mojo Loop, along with a plethora of other targeted technologies that might propel developing world governments, banks, and central banks to new heights. And what we're holding out for, in my opinion, are developing nations that haven't established connections quite yet. All parts must work together. It is necessary to install all of the tracks before the train may begin to run. We need a totally fair playing field, otherwise, we can have a brand new financial system and yet be excluding some individuals. I've previously stated the same thing with XLM. In all candor, I believe that is what we are genuinely anticipating. A more digital culture was propelled to prominence by the epidemic. Things began to heat up significantly around 2020. Most of us were engrossed in the events at that time since we were on lockdown. Meanwhile, the transition to the digital era was happening at a dizzying rate. Things happened between 2020 and now that we never would have imagined if we had thought about it decades ago. This, however, transpired in the span of a few years. If you want to hear Ray Dalio, I must give careful consideration to the consequences of the impending major upheavals. Reason being, in 5 years, everything will have changed drastically. And it will change drastically from year to year. Everything is going to change, including the financial crisis and the next elections. Combined with these new technological advancements, it will be as if we've entered a time warp. There will be a world difference when we get there. Very well. And that, in my opinion, is what we're witnessing. It's as if we're about to enter a parallel universe. Reason being, the pace of change is enormous. Not a single item is able to impede its progress. Without artificial intelligence, I don't think we'd be where we are now. Even if it's happening, nobody seems to care, because everyone is either fixated on the Bitcoin price, or worried about current events. Everything you read or see in the news these days is only a diversion from the real disturbance happening right now. You can see it unfolding before your eyes as a crypto investor, though. People could sit back and call XRP, XLM, X, and all the other ISO cryptocurrencies scam coins every day, but eventually they'll see that the rest of the world isn't ready for these digital currencies just yet, and they'll start to move. However, I believe the moment of switch flip is almost here. Also, we don't have any retail consumers at present, we only offer department services to enterprises. Okay, so what's the latest on XRP? It was always said that you should never have held XRP to begin with. Its retail debut was a complete misstep. But if a cryptocurrency isn't connected to retail customers, how can it achieve mass adoption? This is why Ripple's isn't targeting retail customers. On the other hand, Ripple partners are venturing into retail. Therefore, that has been the case during the whole bear market. I couldn't stop bringing up Ripple's partners, their activities, and the fact that they're establishing a large network with these companies and more. So that's been going on under the radar, as everyone else was preoccupied. Once again, this all culminates in widespread adoption. But it was wonderful to observe that smoke was spot on today with ESDRs. The potential value of XRP is practically limitless once an ESDR is in one's possession, which is why I feel compelled to bring it up in this video. Put past cycles, disregard market cap, and preventative measures out of your mind. Because this cryptocurrency's value can shift so rapidly, carrying a tremendous amount of capital from A to B, that it simply cannot remain at its current valuations. The current 52.50 cents won't be there forever. That, in my opinion, will transpire very soon. When it happens, everyone will see that the XRP holders were correct the whole time. Whatever they told us in the past that was a conspiracy theory has, in due time, become fact. The video ends there. Do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. Muchas gracias, depart.